Hello guys, once again welcome back to the Gatekeepers TV, of course your number one podcast channel across Africa and across the world. My name is Dennis Keton, of course. So welcome back to match week 25 of the English Premier League. So we'll do it real quick. Let's start by giving you the results of match week 24. As you can see on your screen, yes, those are the results. Clearly, we saw Mancity winning 2-0 against Everton. Brentford won 2-0 against Wolves. Spurs late winner made sure that they won against Brighton by 2-1. Liverpool won 3-1, which made them to go on top of the league. Fulham were able to win against Bournemouth by 3-1. Nottingham Forest gave in a good fight against Newcastle, but that fight wasn't enough. Newcastle were able to come back once again and win it by 3-2. We saw Arsenal doing the unthinkable and actually destroying West Ham to the best that they know how. They won that match by 6-0, which saw Declan Rice scoring at his home, though he never celebrated. Manchester United once again had a rebuttal with Aston Villa, a battle which Hodgland made sure that they were there to win it with McTominay, so they won that match by 2-1. Then finally Chelsea went to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace, a match which they won lately in the 90th minutes. So the match ended 3-1, goals courtesy, of course, of Gallagher, former player of Crystal Palace. He scored a brace, and it is what it is. So guys, that was match week 24. So straight, as you can see on the screen, those are the fixtures for match week 25. It's a double game week, guys. So when I say double game week, just know that Liverpool, Mancity, Luton and Brentford will be having 2 matches in this double game week. So straight to it, Saturday early kickoff will be having Brentford versus Liverpool. As you can see on your screen, those are the head-to-head between Liverpool and Brentford. Of course, Liverpool have been having a good run against Brentford, but whenever these two teams meet, it's always an exciting match. It's always a good game. Never underestimate any team in this one. So Brentford, on the other hand, they're coming into this match motivated, especially having won their match. Brentford were able to win their game by 2-0 against Wolves. Currently, they're actually boosted by they will be welcoming back, of course, 2 of their players from the African Cup of Nations. This is Onyenka and Wissa. They are officially back in the squad. That will actually be able to strengthen the front, which is being led by Ivan Toney and the likes of Jansen. So as they're going to meet Liverpool, a team that has been on the rise. In the last 5 games that Liverpool have played, I think they have won everything apart from the game which they lost to Arsenal. On the other side, Brentford has been having a mixture of results, draws, losses, and of course the last one they won. So as they're going to meet, this is going to be a very great game. Liverpool are coming into this game having won 3-1 in their last match against Burnley. We saw Jota Nunes being on the score sheet, so that tells you that Liverpool are fired up. Also, we've seen Salah in training, so Salah is back in doing full training. So let's hope that he might make his comeback again. Though with Klopp, he might maybe be given some few minutes. Since they have a double game week, maybe he might be backing him to start in the game against Luton on Wednesday 21st. But in this one, guys, I feel that regardless of Salah being there or not, the pressure is up. And Liverpool needs to win it for them to continue going on top of the league. Currently, they are 2 points on top of the league. So if they win, they will be going 5 points on top of the league before Man City plays their match. So this one, I'm going with Liverpool to win it by 3-1. The next match will be Burnley versus Arsenal. Burnley will be at home as they will be welcoming Arsenal. Burnley are playing this game having a poor record. They have not been a team who've been playing well. They lost their match against Liverpool by 3-1. They are facing an Arsenal who won by 6-0. So Arsenal right now, they are goal machines. They are basically scoring goals the way they want. Saka is a boy on form. He's the star boy, clearly. Alejandro Trossard, Martinelli, these boys, Declan Rice, they are off the roof. They are doing everything possible to make Arsenal win and contest and compete for this title. So I feel like this match, without further ado, I'm still going with Arteta to be able to bring in a good fight and to be able to win it. So give it also another clean sheet of 3-0. The other match will be Fulham versus Aston Villa. Fulham are coming into this game, guys, having played a very good game and won the match which they played against Bournemouth by 3-1. 2-1. On the other side, Aston Villa were able to lose by 2-1 against Manchester United. So the two teams are going to face each other. We know that Aston Villa has had a good history against Fulham, but the last 3 matches which they've played, of course, Fulham has won one, and the one which they won last season, they won it at home. So having said that, as you can see on your screen, it means that Aston Villa needs to bring their A game, considering that they will be at home. So this is going to be a big fight for them. So Oli Watkins needs to be back on his scoring, on their scoring sheet. On the other side, we find that Aston Villa were able to win their match, of course, in the Conference League. Congratulations for that, versus AZ Kamar. So that was a good result. So as they're going to face Fulham, this will be a good game. Not easy, but it's going to be a good game. So I feel like I'm going with a 2-1 win for Aston Villa, though they have to be wary because Fulham are back and they're doing the unthinkable. The other match, the next match will be Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Newcastle is a team who's been leaking. Yeah, they're leaking goals, guys. So they are not as solid as we knew them, but much needs to be done. So, of course, they won their last match against Nottingham by 3-1. Fabian Schär once again was on the score sheet. So this is a match whereby, having known that Bournemouth won against them in the first leg by 2-0, courtesy of Dominic Solanke. So the question is, are they going to do enough to stop Solanke from tormenting their defense line? And will Newcastle push their frontliners to be able to get goals against Bournemouth? Bournemouth have not been in their good form, of course, of late. Of course, after losing again 3-1 to Fulham, but whenever they meet Newcastle, it's always a different ball game. So they have a good record against Newcastle. So this is a match whereby I still want to fancy a draw, regardless of everything. I feel like Bournemouth will be bringing their A game at St. James Park, and it's going to be a draw. So give it a 2-2 draw. Then the other match will be Spurs, Tottenham Hotspurs versus Wolves. Wolves lost their match against Brentford, of course, we saw, I already told you. On the other hand, Tottenham were able to grab a late winner. Tottenham, by now, they are used to doing this. So having won a late winner, inspired by the comeback of Son, who returned after being eliminated from the Asia Cup, and by their congratulations to Qatar for grabbing the Asia Cup. Son being back now, it's a big motivation, because now when you combine that combination of Son, Richarlison, Kulusevski, then you put in Johnson there, it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be crazy. So I find that Tottenham seems to be a team on the ascending. They are trying to make a statement. They're trying to compete also. They want to compete for the league. They have a long way to go, but they need to do it step by step. So Angel Postecoglou, I feel like they will be at home and they will be having a point to prove. Not to undermine Wolves. Wolves is a team which currently they have shown us that they have a good record against English teams, like the London teams. London teams clearly, because we saw what they did to Chelsea. We saw what they did to the same Tottenham. In the last match they played, they were able to defeat Tottenham by it was 2-1. Then also in the last season they also won against Tottenham. So Tottenham, actually they are baying for revenge in this match. So I feel like the time is here. They must get their revenge, especially if they saw how Wolves played against Brentford. They need to borrow some notes from the books of Brentford and be able to use them to win against Wolves. Wolves will be playing minus their talisman Kuna, who got an injury, so he will be absent. So let's see how they fare without Kuna, of course. So this is a match whereby I'm going with Tottenham to bounce back and to be able to continue their winning streak by winning it by 2. Give them 2-1. Yeah, it's gonna be a 2-1. Then the last match on Saturday night will be a big match. Yes, I don't know, it's gonna be the 53rd or 54th match which these two teams will be playing. The teams I'm talking about will be Mancity will be welcoming Chelsea at Etihad Stadium. Yes, these two teams, whenever they meet, it's always electrifying. It's always a good moment to enjoy football. Every team always gives their all. Two players from Chelsea are going back to their home ground. This is Raheem Sterling and, of course, Cole Palmer. They are going back to where they came from. and that means it's gonna be exciting. We know in the first leg when they met, it was emotional for Cole Palmer, but still we are going for it. In the first leg, as you can see on your screen, the game ended 4-4. It was a crazy game. Erling Haaland ended that game with a brace, of course. Cole Palmer scored for Chelsea a late penalty to make it 4-4. So it was a highly hyped up and a game which was a game of the equals. So the question is, in this return leg at Etihad Stadium, can Chelsea come back and maintain the same strategy and the same strength and the same pressing which they actually played against Man City? If they will be able to do that, then it's gonna be a great game which we are poised to witness. We are going to have a midfield battle of Rodri versus Gallagher. So I don't know what you guys think. Between Rodri and Gallagher, who do you think will be bossing that midfield? Of course, Gallagher is coming into this match after scoring a brace in the match against Crystal Palace in match week 24. On the other hand, Rodri is continuing to do whatever he does. Man City are coming into this match having won their match against Everton in match week 24, and also on Wednesday they played in the Champions League, and they were able, on Tuesday, and they were able to win their match by 3-1. A game which we saw Bernardo Silva and Foden being on the score sheet. So the question is, can they continue with that impressive form when they meet Chelsea or when they welcome Chelsea at Etihad Stadium? I feel like Mr. Mauricio Pochettino must actually plan for a different game plan if they really want to win this, because Pep Guardiola wants to close the gap on top of the table. So this is gonna be a great game for all of us football lovers to be able to witness. So I'm looking at a battle between Erling Haaland and somebody like either Nkunku, Cole Palmer, or maybe, of course, Mr. Nicholas Jackson, whoever will be put at the front. Then the midfield battle, I'm looking at Enzo Fernandez versus De Bruyne. Crazy, of course. When you look at that, when you compare the strength, you already know. I'm looking at a porous defense of Man City. Man City have been porous. They have been leaking goals left, right, and center. That the same goes to Chelsea. So this will be a game whereby we will be witnessing two teams with defenses which are leaking. But the issue is which forwards will be back to scoring many goals. This game will have goals, and the guy with many goals is the guy who's gonna win it. So I feel like I'm going with a back-to-back draw in this game, considering that Man City have a good record against Chelsea. The last time Chelsea won against Man City was in 2021 finals of the UEFA Champions League, the time when Kai Havertz scored for Chelsea, a winner which gave them the title. So since then, Chelsea has not won a single match against City. So I know also Chelsea, they're craving to get a victory against City. It's not impossible, it's possible, but it's hard, because right now Man City's players, they are back. Apart from Gravediol, who is still sidelined, most of Man City players are back and they are ready to fight for it. We saw Haaland returned with a brace against Everton, and that's what Haaland can do on a good day. So let's see how this game goes. So in this one, I've told you I'm going with a 2-2 draw, and may the best team do what they have to do. On Sunday we have two games. We have Sheffield United welcoming Brighton. Sheffield, they are still bottom of the table. They are coming to this match having been motivated, especially after winning against Luton by 3-1. On the other hand, Brighton needs to make a comeback, especially after losing 2-1 to Tottenham, a game which they felt like they could have grabbed at least a point, but they allowed it to escape them. So this is a match whereby I feel like it's not going to be easy, considering that when you look at the stats, Sheffield has a good record against Brighton. In fact, Brighton has not won against Sheffield. Sheffield is the one whom have won against them, and they have drawn some matches against Brighton. That goes a long way to tell you that it's not a simple match, and you don't want to underestimate a team like Sheffield because of the strength of Brighton. So this is a match whereby I feel like I'm looking at a 1-1 draw again. They are fond of drawing 1-1. I'm going with a 1-1 draw because you don't underestimate any team in the Premier League. The last match on Sunday will be Luton welcoming Manchester United. The last time these two teams played, guys, we saw how intense the game was. Manchester were able to win that match by 1-0. Of course, we are seeing Manchester having a good record against the bottom teams, or the teams who have been promoted from the from the championship. They have won 9 games which they have played against such teams. So that's like 100% record for Ten Hag. So good job. So they are facing an informed Manchester United who've had like 4 games. They have won 4 games in a row, and that has actually put them ahead. Højlund is a boy who's on form. He's been scoring. The last 5 matches which Højlund has been playing, he's been bagging in goals. So, is they going to beat? This is going to be a difficult game for Manchester United and for Luton too. So it's going to be difficult. So though having said that, I feel like I'm still going to give it to Manchester United, but they have to be careful. Considering what Luton did to Newcastle when they won against them, when they drew with them 4-4, they don't want to underestimate them. So 2-1. But if worse comes to us, I'm going with a draw. So yeah, put your money where your mouth is. On Monday 19th, we have Everton versus Crystal Palace. These two teams, of course, they will be meeting, I think, the 3rd time. In the first leg, Everton were able to win 3-2. They also met in the FA 3rd round. Everton managed to eliminate Crystal Palace. So there is actually a bone to chew here. Crystal Palace coming into this match with some issues. Roy Hodgson might have been sacked. Yes, we will confirm to you those news, but Roy Hodgson might have been sacked. Though he fell ill in their training on Friday, he was taken to the hospital, quick recovery. I know by now he's doing well, but Roy Hodgson might be sacked, or he is being sacked. So I will be informing you who will be replacing Roy Hodgson as the new Crystal Palace coach. So I feel like they have a bone to chew with Everton, but Everton also have not been playing well. They started well, but currently they have been losing most of their games. The last 7 games which they have been playing, they have not been winning. On the other side, Crystal Palace needs to be serious. They really need to win. So they lost to Chelsea by 3-1, even though they played well. So as they face Everton, I'm still going with Everton to get at least their first win for a long time by 1-0. Yes, at their home ground. Then part of the double game week, Mancity to play against Brentford. Yes, I know you might be surprised. It's just the other day when the two teams met, when Brentford faced Mancity. They're going to meet again. Yes, the second leg is here. As you can see on your screen, those were the results when they first met. Of course, Mancity were able to win that game. I think, Foden was the match, and that was the man of the match. He scored a hat trick in that game. So yeah, so as they are going to meet again at Etihad, I feel like it's gonna be a difficult game. Let me give it for Man City. Man City are good when they are at Etihad. So 2-1. The last match in this double game week will be Liverpool versus Luton. In the first leg, guys, we saw what happened. Liverpool were pressed. Luton were able to maintain a hard defense line, which actually made it. Sorry, guys, rehydration. Which actually made it very difficult for Liverpool to penetrate that defense line. That match ended in a draw, and for some reason, Luton were going to win it. Were it not for the late goal for Luis Diaz, Luton were actually running away with a victory in that game. So that goes a long way to tell you that in Premier League, you are not allowed to underestimate any team. So as Liverpool will be at home welcoming Luton, I feel like they will be piling more pressure and they will not take this game any lightly. So I'm going to give them also another opportunity to win. In this game, I'm now confident that Mohamed Salah will be playing in it. And since the title for the Golden Boot is up, I feel like he will return back with scoring some goals. So this game, give it to Liverpool to win it by 4-1. Yes, guys, that marks the end of match week 25. Thank you for keeping it the gatekeepers. Before I leave, guys, on to some news. Kylian Mbappe has officially submitted a plea to PSG that this will be his last season. He's actually willing to exit as a free agent. So the big question to the football lovers will be, where next? We've already seen Real Madrid having presented a bid which is slightly lower considered to what they had presented back then in 2022. So the big question is, where do you guys think? Where do you see Kylian Mbappe headed to next? Will it be Real Madrid? Will it be Arsenal? Will it be Chelsea? Will it be Bayern? So wherever you want him to go, please tell me in the comment section below. Where do you want Kylian Mbappe to go next? Otherwise, guys, thank you for keeping it the Gatekeepers TV. It's been real being with you guys. So until we meet again in match week 26, keep it the Gatekeepers TV. I love you guys. Let's have a lovely weekend and a prosperous day as we do what we do best. Otherwise, I'm Dennis Keton and I'm out.
Dennis Keton amekuja tena. Ama kinuno ya Nairobi.